It was my first day at Hill Ridge High, and I was buzzing. For weeks, I'd been working on a plan, and today was showtime.
Good morning, Hildrich family. Welcome back from summer break. This year is all about excellence in academics and behavior.
Crowd cheered wildly. I just stood there watching the scene unfold.
We are a family built on trust and integrity.
I almost gagged. You see, Principal Richardson knew nothing about honor or integrity. He was a liar, and everyone needed to know. Scratch that, it was my job to let everyone know. Right on cue, a red sports car screeched into the school's parking lot, and out jumped Principal Richardson's wife!
Gregory Richardson, you lying, cheating, two-faced toad!
Whose lipstick is this?
Oh, we can discuss this in private.
Without waiting for another word, Mrs. Richardson hurled the lipstick at his face.
Private? Like your private meetings with your secretary?
Were out and everyone was filming and laughing. Well, not everyone. The principal's daughter, Chelsea, looked like she wanted to die. Mom, Dad, please, not here! Not in front of everyone! She tried to grab her mom, but Mrs. Richardson shoved her aside and lunged for her husband, who took off running. Chelsea's face turned bright red with embarrassment under everyone's smug stares. And yes, it was all a part of my plan. But don't get me wrong, I had my reasons. I didn't do it for the clout. I did it for justice. I did it for my cousin, Riley. By the time I got home, I practically sprinted to Riley's room, like I had the winning lottery ticket. Riley, you have to see this! And then I showed Riley the video I had recorded of all the chaos that happened at school. You actually pulled it off? Yep, it was easy. All I did was expose the true face of Principal Richardson and his mistress. I secretly followed them on their date, and when they weren't looking, I slipped the secretary's lipstick into his coat pocket. You're insane! And we burst into laughter when I acted out the chaos of that wild morning for Riley. Riley, my cousin, is an angel, too kind for her own good. And because of that, people grew jealous and started bullying her. One day, a classmate pushed her so hard she ended up with a serious injury, forcing her to leave school and stay in a wheelchair for months. I couldn't just sit back. I was furious. So I transferred to Riley's school with one goal in mind: revenge. The first targets, the principal and his daughter, the student council president. According to Riley, they were the worst. Cold, careless, and completely indifferent about what happened to her. Worse, his daughter was happy about Riley's accident. She had hated Riley for a long time. Well, it's time they paid for it. The next day, Chelsea walked into class like nothing had happened. But Hildreth High had a memory like an elephant. A mean, gossipy elephant. Hey, Chelsea, is the school secretary your new stepmom?
Is it true your daddy is planning to run away with her? Your mom must be so heartbroken.
Then I saw Chelsea walk in and quietly sit all by herself in the far corner of the classroom, looking completely out of place. I thought it would make me feel satisfied. But strangely, seeing Chelsea that sad just made me feel awful. But the look on Riley's face when I told her about Chelsea today made me feel like I was doing the right thing for my cousin. I wish I had been there to see the look on her face. And did you hear? Principal Richardson resigned! And poor Chelsea, she'll probably lose her seat as the student body president. Okay, I said they deserved it, but this was starting to get out of hand. Riley, maybe we've taken this a bit too far? I didn't want to tell you this, but I went to the doctor today, and it's official, I'm never going to walk again! Oh my god, Riley! I'm so sorry, I really do want to go back to school, Sarah. Even if it's in this wheelchair, but I just can't! Oh, why not? Are you afraid of those bullies? Micah stole my diary and started mocking me for the little secrets I wrote in it. I won't be able to go back to school until I get it back. Even though I'd been at Hill Ridge for just a couple of days, I knew exactly who she was talking about. Micah was hard to miss with his skateboard, black hoodie, and permanent scowl. Micah's the guy? Alright then, I'll make sure that the bully gets on his knees and hands over that diary. I had a plan. I brought my skateboard and skated nearby, just to stage a perfectly accidental encounter. Let me tell you what desperation looks like. It looks like me, in a helmet 2 sizes too big, elbow and knee pads, and a borrowed skateboard I named Death Wish. Day 1 of infiltrate Micah's world and steal the diary, I face planted. Twice. Day 2, I rolled into someone's dog. The dog was fine. My dignity, not so much. And on day 3, I became a meme when someone filmed me flipping over a trash can. Guess who was watching the entire time? Micah. Enjoying the show?
Just counting the days before you break your neck.
Ouch! Sounds like something a villain would say.
Why are you even doing this?
Well, to develop myself.
You're terrible at it.
I guess I'm not good at anything. I'm so useless. So I faked some tears for sympathy, and ta-da! He fell right into my trap.
Hey, you're not useless. You just need to work on your technique. Alright, stand on your board.
See? Worked like a charm. Hiding a smile, I did as he instructed. And then, in a move I didn't see coming, he took my hands and helped me balance on the board. And holy mother of skate wheels, he had the most beautiful eyes. No wonder the sky is gray today. All the blue went into your eyes. What? No! Who said that?
Thanks.
At that moment, I wanted to crawl into a hole and disappear. Focus, Zara! Remember the mission. Do not let his handsomeness ruin everything. Over the next few weeks, I kept falling. He kept teaching, and somehow we kept laughing. Also, the more he helped me skate, the more conflicted I felt. He was so kind. It was hard to believe he was the villain. But that diary remained a mystery, even though Riley kept urging me to find it as soon as possible. His locker at school? Nothing. His backpack? Micah guarded it like a dragon guarding treasure. Until one afternoon, everything changed. We were at our usual spot in the park when a black motorbike sped towards us and we both jumped. The car is speeding towards us!
Zara, stay behind me.
While I was still frozen in shock, Micah rushed over and jumped in front of me, shielding me from that crazy driver. The driver sped straight at us, yanked Micah's backpack so fast it threw him face first onto the pavement, then tore off at a terrifying speed. Micah! Oh no! Heart pounding, I rushed over to Micah, who was laying on the ground, not moving.
My backpack. No. The diary.
Micah, hold on! I'm calling for help! As I dialed 911, I could barely breathe. Micah really had been carrying that diary with him all along, and someone had hurt him to get to it. This was getting way out of hand. After an ambulance arrived, I helped Micah call his parents, and then I ran all the way home like the FBI was chasing me. Riley, you're not going to believe what just happened! But the second I stepped in, my words died in my throat. Riley wasn't alone. Her mom, Aunt Frida, was sitting beside her, and she looked angry. Uh-oh. Without a word, Aunt Frida handed me her phone. And when I hit play, my stomach dropped as I watched myself on screen, slipping a lipstick into Principal Richardson's jacket at the coffee shop.
You caused chaos at school and turned the principal's whole family upside down?
Riley told me she was being bullied at school, and the principal didn't care at all. You begged me to. And that's when Riley shattered my entire heart. What are you talking about? I had nothing to do with what you did. What's going on? Why would Riley say something like that? Just then, I saw something that made words evaporate. Micah's backpack, stuffed half under Riley's bed. Wait, isn't that Micah's backpack? Why do you have it? I don't know what you're talking about. That's my old backpack. It's always been there. Didn't you know that?
Stop arguing, you two! Zara, from now on, you're grounded for 2 weeks to think about your bad behavior.
I turned, stormed to my room, and paced like a caged animal. Why was Micah's backpack under Riley's bed? Could she really be behind all of this? Did she want that diary so badly that she couldn't wait any longer and actually paid someone to snatch it from him? And that secret video of me, was she the one who sent someone to follow me? But why would she do that? I have to find Riley and get the truth out of her. Over the next few days, I tried to talk to Riley, but she ignored me. All she did was sit in her room and stare out the window. It was scary, to be honest. What was she planning? At school, Micah was nowhere to be found. He was probably at home recovering, but I couldn't go see him because I was grounded. I wasn't even allowed to walk to the mailbox without supervision. Then, just when I thought it couldn't get worse, Aunt Frida dropped a bombshell.
To avoid any more trouble, you should transfer back to your old school.
But I don't want to. There was still something Riley wanted me to help with.
No need. Riley's going back to school next week. She says she can handle it on her own now, and there's no need to trouble you anymore.
Was it because Riley got her diary back? Did she not need me anymore? And want me to leave the school? My train of thought was cut short by the loud roar of a bike. And I saw the biker. What was he doing here at midnight? Probably to meet Riley for some evil mission. Making sure I was well hidden, I watched as the biker parked the bike behind a house. But when they took off their helmet, I got the shock of my life when I saw who it was. Riley's true colors made my skin crawl. The next morning, I went to Chelsea to get some answers. She told me Riley was known as the school's mean girl who collected secrets to control people. Riley had always tried to beat Chelsea for the student council president, but never succeeded. Chelsea said she had heard that Riley lost her diary while bullying a student and accidentally fell. Now everything made sense. I'd been a fool, a puppet dancing on Riley's strings, and the person she bullied? It had to be Micah. I walked into the school to find the whole school there, carrying welcome back banners while they waited for Riley to arrive. Riley rolled her wheelchair into the middle of the school lobby, then held up her diary with a triumphant smile. To the one who tried to hurt me, no worries. I'll be kind enough to leave that incident out of my precious diary. I had the perfect plan for Riley. While she was busy soaking up the fake cheers and attention, I quietly slipped into the crowd and waited for the right moment. I just want to thank everyone for welcoming me back. Being in a wheelchair is not easy, but to the person who pushed me, I want you to know that I've forgiven you. Ugh, a week ago I'd have believed every word she said, but now I wanted to scream at her. As Riley continued to give her heartfelt speech, I struck. Slowly, I tied a string around a fake spider's belly and dropped it onto Riley's thigh. The second it touched her, she shrieked. Then she jumped out of her wheelchair. You heard that right. She shot to her feet and dashed across the school lobby like she was training for the Olympics. And just like that, her diary hit the floor. And I swooped in and grabbed it. Give that back! Wow, it's a miracle. Riley walks again. It was only then that Riley finally panicked, realizing she had been exposed. But how did you know? I saw you on the bike. Riley, you've been faking an injury this entire time. That's right. Remember the mystery biker? It was Riley this entire time. She was the one I saw through the window that night. So what? Give me the diary. Now. Now that I have it, I'm going to destroy it so no one can ever use what's written in here to hurt others again. And then, right in front of Riley's horrified eyes and everyone's shocked faces, I tore the diary to pieces. I run the school. Everyone does what I say. As Riley sat there in misery, everyone else quietly walked away, relieved. Suddenly, a realization struck Riley. No, that's not it. I still have the coffee shop video. I knew you'd find a way to use it against me, so I've already written an apology letter to Mr. Richardson. Actually, don't worry, Zara. I've known about my dad's affair for years. What you did helped my mom finally wake up and let go. No! I'm telling my mom! You won't get away with this! With complete indifference, I walked out of school. I thought to myself, if Riley tattled, Aunt Frida would probably ground her for sure. There was still one person I needed to see. Without a word, I went straight to our old spot. The moment Micah saw me, he lit up with a bright smile. Hey, Micah, I'm really sorry for using you, for being manipulated by Riley, and for all the hurt I caused you and everyone else. And so I filled him in on everything. And you should have seen his face when I revealed that the biker was Riley.
I knew Riley was behind it all, but I didn't expect her to be so reckless.
I'm really sorry. Suddenly, Micah stepped closer to me. His shadow merged with mine as he gently took my hand and smiled warmly. That tender gaze moved me deeply. And though he said nothing, I knew in his heart he had forgiven me. From that day on, we grew closer than ever. We went to school together, skated side by side, and talked endlessly about everything under the sun. It felt like our souls were in sync, drawn together like two opposite magnets that couldn't help but connect.
I was at a bustling party, waiting for the one who would decide whether I'd won my cousin's bet or not. Forget your dumb ex. $50 if you get the number of the next guy walking through that door. Oh, here comes my target. I hurriedly approached him, but stumbled and we're kissing. I could feel the taste of grapes on his lips. I immediately pushed him away and stood up. Phone number, please. The guy looked confused, but still handed me a note. All done. Time to flee the scene. Hi, I'm Agatha, a super introvert who hiccups when nervous. And lucky enough, my kooky cousin dragged me to this crazy party. I ran home to see Mum looking all excited. Oh, my sweet child, you're back already. It's just not my thing, Mom. But cooking is. I have some amazing news. The local soccer club is looking for a chef, so I recommended you. And guess what? They said you can start ASAP. Yes, I've dreamt of becoming a chef since I was little, and now that dream will soon come true. Yahoo! Today's the day. I eagerly arrived at the soccer club, but my jaw almost hit the floor when I saw Mateo, my ex. What was he doing here? Flustered, I looked away and saw that guy from the party. What on earth? My life's officially over. After the introduction, I immediately ran to the pitch for some fresh air, but then a hand patted my shoulder. It's him again. No calls or texts? You asked for my number. Are you that shy? I'm Killian, by the way. It was just a joke. Please leave. But then he stepped even closer. Panicked, I pushed him away. Almost made him fall backward. I tried to catch him, but not again. This time he smells like chocolate. Oh, you like my lips this much? Why not just say so? Holy moly! I ran straight away without looking back. I better stay 10 miles away from him. Suddenly, I saw Mateo passing by. Has he seen anything? But why bother? As if he cared. He dumped me. Okay, Agatha, you're here to work, so focus. But with these jocks around, it's not that easy. They always jump-scared me when I was doing my job and made fun of me when I got lost in the changing room. And Killian was always there in time to save me.
Everyone, stop. Close your eyes.
Then he threw a super stinky, sweaty towel at my face. Ew. Plus, that jerk is the pickiest eater on this planet. He's constantly complaining about my food and demanded I cook him something else. There you go.
I'm cutting on starch to build muscles.
I'll get rid of the pasta.
Oops, I forgot. I'm lactose intolerant.
Okay, no cheese.
Poor little chicken. I can't eat that.
So, are you allergic to the plate too? Meanwhile, other team members were way easier, especially Mateo. We used to date, so I knew his taste pretty well. I gave you some extra pork, your favorite.
I don't like pork. I hate pigs.
Just then, Killian jumped in.
You should focus on me instead. We can discuss my meals privately.
Before I could say anything, he already handed me a note. Me and him alone? That's weird. But learning his eating habit would help my job, right? Nope. Big mistake. Killian had an endlessly absurd list of diet restrictions. No more than 2.5 grams of salt a day, mayonnaise on everything, no mushrooms, and spaghetti without tomato sauce. Did he just descend onto Earth? And during the meal, this dude kept smiling and staring at me. You like me or something?
You have a veggie on your teeth.
Dude! Oh gosh! I immediately ran to the restroom, but Killian caught up with me, holding a ball of wool.
Is this yours?
I looked down to see a wool thread coming out of my dress's hemline. Oh gosh, I wish the ground just swallowed me whole right now. Surprisingly, Killian put his jacket on me. That was cool. Just then he caught me drooling over him, so I immediately pretended to play with my phone. Just want to beat level 9,674 in Candy Crush. Strangely, over the next few days, Mateo started being nice to me. Too nice.
Your cooking is top-notch as always. Tomorrow, can you make me those delicious vegetable fritters we used to have together?
He still remembered that? Boy, he made my heart race. I sprinted to the kitchen and put on music to calm down. Soon I found myself singing and dancing to my jam. I promise that you'll never find another like me. Hee hee! Ooh, 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 ooh! Mamma mia! How long had he been there? Flustered, I burnt myself. Killian rushed over and held my hand.
You okay? You can't even handle yourself?
Then he insisted on finishing my work and even prepared us a dish. Well, his broad back. Isn't he quite a charmer when he cooks? We talked a lot, and turns out we share a ton of things in common. Beneath his teasing, he's actually gentle, caring, and a good listener. I suddenly realized that I had stopped hiccuping since ages. One afternoon, while giving out water, I saw Killian. Oh wow, it's like the sunshine drew a halo around him and his exquisite face. Wait a minute, why was I smiling? Suddenly, a fancy-looking girl came over. Killian, why didn't you reply to my messages? You left me hanging all night. Look, I have dark circles now. That's on you. I went to leave, but out of nowhere, Mateo pulled me into a corner.
Why were you so close to him? He's only messing with me.
Huh? What do you mean?
He competes with me in everything. I was cold to you to protect you. Now that he knows you're important to me, he'll harm you to hurt me.
I think he's just trying to be nice.
His dad is our club's biggest sponsor. You really think he wants to hang out with people like us while Sloan, whose family owns the largest hospital in the state, is here?
I don't know what to believe anymore. However, I had to admit they looked like a perfect couple. While holding a coffee tray one time, I clumsily bumped into Sloan. Are you blind? Why do they let a doofus work here?
Come on, Sloan, you bumped into her.
He sure seemed sweet to me. Maybe Mateo had misunderstood him. Then once, I spotted the two of them in a quarrel where Killian even pushed Mateo. I tried to intervene, but they brushed me off. What was going on between them? A few days later, I returned from the grocery store to see the head coach in a fit of rage.
Explain to me how Mateo is hospitalized for eating your food.
What? Why?
Stop it! You're fired!
My head spun in a million circles. I hadn't done anything wrong. I was packing my things when Sloan appeared. Well. Looks like Little Miss Muffet met her match. Only need some simple tricks to get rid of you and your phony, needy act. Stop dreaming about Killian. You're not at our level. Wait, our? Who's with you? But Sloane just smirked and strutted away. That's when the memory of Killian and Mateo fighting struck my mind. So, Killian must have conspired with Sloane to harm Mateo and ruin my career in the process? How could he? Still, he had the cheek to text me as if nothing had happened. Dummy, Agatha. You should have listened to Mateo from the start and stayed away from Killian. I visited Mateo in the hospital, but he coldly shooed me away. It was exactly like the day he dumped me. Today is the city's championship final, and to be honest, I didn't really know why I was here. I looked around for Mateo, but couldn't find him. He might still be sick, so we had to skip this match. On the field, Killian seemed distracted and off his game. What's wrong with him today? Killian, my dear. The lady sitting next to me looked nervous and kept fidgeting. I spoke to her and figured out she was Killian's mom. She told me the shocking news. His little sister was missing. He was blackmailed into making their team lose or he'd never see his sister again. Killian faced the goal, but he didn't kick. Instead, he passed to another player who then scored the goal. The spectators cheered in triumph, while other players celebrated the goal with Killian. Blood seemed to have drained from his face. As predicted, the threats kept coming. I couldn't just sit and pray, so I asked Killian's mom for more clues. She played me the recording of her daughter. I strained my ears to listen and heard a noise. Peekaboo, peekaboo. I know that sound. It's Mateo's parrot. Ma'am, I know who's behind this. It's Mateo. What? I can excuse fake food poisoning, but how dare he harm my Killian? Say it again, Sloane. He asked me to fake the medical paper, and I figured it would also kick you out, so I agreed. But what about Killian's sister? That was nothing to do with me, I swear. We rushed to Mateo's house. It took him forever to open the door. Mateo, are you okay now? I have thought a lot about us, and realized how important you are to me, and I don't want to lose you again. Mateo, could you?
Oh, please, look at yourself. I just dated you for fun. You truly think I like you? And no more pork for me, please.
Do you seriously think I'd want you back after the despicable things you did to me and Killian?
Killian? Props to that freak for coming at me for telling the truth. So pathetic of him to go for my leftovers. It's you, dummy.
Then he blurted out how he cooked up this entire scheme to ruin Killian's career out of the jealousy which was triggered when he visited him in the hospital and told him not to worry about missing the match as they've had a new strategy to cover his absence and the team would perform well anyway.
I'm not a pawn that can easily be kicked out. You wish.
You are pathetic. Right then, Sloane appeared with the little girl. Let's go. There's no time.
Where are you going, Agatha? Admit it. You're still smitten with me.
Sorry, the old Agatha can't come to the phone right now.
Why?
Oh, 'cause she's dead. After that, we rushed to the stadium. There, I shouted out Killian's name and raised his sister's hands. He seemed surprised to see us, then nodded and smiled. Afterwards, he played like a pro and led his team to victory. He was even awarded Player of the Match.
It's an honor to receive this title, and I want to shout out to someone important. Without her, this wouldn't have happened. Agatha, thank you so much.
Countless cameras turned to me. Then he rushed over to drag me to a corner where I told him everything.
I know Mateo's a jerk, but I didn't expect him to be that bad. But no worries. Let's see how he likes being permanently banned from the soccer club. Agatha, I want to tell you that I found something just as important as soccer. You.
He then grabbed my face and pressed his lips against mine. Finally, we had a legit kiss, and it was magical.